Ta-da! Hey guys, what's up? It's Tony the Sword Assassin, and I already see a lot of people are waiting in the background. So we have Matia Maya, we have Kat, and today we're going to try the Filthy Viking Robusto and versus the other cigar, which I thought is gonna be Cain Daytona, but we can change that around based on what is going on. So let's get this whole thing started.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make.
Alright, we're back. So, we have, like again, we have Kat, we have Matia Maya, we have Cigar Club 5.0, we have William, we have Joseph Woodruff, and we have Joe Sparaccio, we have Brendan Chapman, we have Sherry, the Ash Queen, and wow, there's a lot of people. Here we go. So what's going on is I just woke up not long ago. Now here's the thing: you don't know how tired you are until you went to drink a sports drink that has melatonin by accident. I actually drank a melatonin drink. A drink that has melatonin in it without knowing. Like I didn't remember that's what it is for, and I just drank it and I passed out. I literally just passed out. I woke up like probably 40 minutes ago or so, 50 minutes ago when I took the picture. I was like, holy cow, that drink is crazy. Like when I say crazy, I mean crazy. All right, crazy. I'm gonna move this just a little bit because I moved the screen today and I can't see the chat now. Okay. So yeah, we have a lot of people in the house today. Pretty good. Daniel Martin, hi. Ditch the Itch, hi. Jay, you're not in the Shadow Smokers Legion, are you? I don't think so. I don't know. Not too sure. Jay Salas, 329. So, while I'm at it, I'm gonna have some sports drink again. Sports drink with the pairing so that I can stay awake. I was, holy cow. And I wasn't like really awake until my wife came home. Told me that she almost got into a car accident. Because another car swerved into her lane and she had to swerve to the next lane. And the next lane had to swerve to the next lane. So, yeah, people, drive safely. Seriously. You can control how good you drive, but you can never control how crappy other people's gonna drive. So, always be very careful. So, this is Austin, my business account, making video to educate people on plants on this one. But why ditch the itch? So yeah, let's light this up. Finally, we have the Robusto version of the Filthy Viking. I think this has been asked for a long time because original Filthy Viking is this big. You know, it's like, that's a huge difference if you think about it. That's a huge difference. So we cut this off before, remember, to get to a you know, Torbusto, Churbusto. But you know, it didn't make too much difference. But now we're gonna smoke it to see if that make any difference. Now I was gonna compare this one with the CAO, but because the wrappers are that much different, like in tone, I decided to choose a Cain Daytona because they're really similar in color. Like literally, if I put it side by side, they like and cover the band, they look the same. So this is what we're gonna do. I think I have a piece of tobacco stuck in my back of my teeth from the other day. What the hell? Just can't get it out. Anyways, let's cut this and get smoking, and we talk about things. Ditch the itch, poison ivy, and mosquito control. Ah, that's why. Okay. Don't drop the ice tonight, okay? Hey, it's not up to me, really. It's not up to me. So I'm gonna cut this in a V cut today. Too little, but good draw. That's more like it. And I'm gonna light it with a torch lighter today, because I'm too lazy to walk down the other side to pick up my other lighter. But you know, we'll get this on. We'll get this on. Here we go. John Salas. Alright, we will look for a thing for that. Looking slim, my man. Yeah, I told you, I'll lose weight, and I lose it very quickly. I'll look super fat 1 week, and the next week I'll look super skinny. When I go on keto, there's no cheating. I eat a lot of fat. I mean, I do enjoy it too. When I go on a diet, I do enjoy it. Like, you know, I'll save all the fatty food to eat when I'm not on diets. That way, when I go on a diet, I don't feel sick eating these things. But, you know, there's a lot of soup that I can make with a lot of fat. So, lose weight quickly. Hi, Christina. So, filthy like Viking. Nutty creamy taste. Cedar, little bit of spice, not much of a pepper, but there is a little bit from the spice. Really good cigar, and I like the original Filthy Viking a lot. I mean, this is just makes it easier to smoke, you know, because when you sit down for a Filthy Viking, it takes a long time. It's like long time. And before we go on screen, like before I go on the screen today, I was literally looking at myself, right? I feel like my eyebrow looks like it's drawn on today for some reason on the screen. It's so dark. It looks like it's drawn on. I don't know what happened. Maybe when I was sleeping, my wife drew on my eyebrow, but it looks like it's drawn on today. Hey, William. Hey, Brian. So yeah, we're getting on Filthy Viking. It's still the same taste. It literally did not change much. In fact, I think because shorter is more pungent. I feel like the flavor is stronger in the Robusto version. So I can't really tell. I can't really tell if there's any different other than stronger. Pepper is coming in a little bit. Spice is coming in a little bit earthiness, just a little bit tad. With the pepper. We'll work this down, see how long it takes. We'll work this down. So how's everybody today? How's everyone today? Today is a good day, right? Today is Wednesday, you know, where things start to wind down and we kind of convert from like the stressful ourselves to almost going to relaxation stuff. So it's good. A 4x48 short Robusto tonight. Okay. Better now. Doing okay, sleepy. Oh yeah, I was passing out. So yeah, when you're tired for like, you know, days straight, don't drink a drink that has melatonin in it. It will literally knock you out. I was on the sofa and just passed out. And I didn't even know when I got up, and I went to the bed and passed out again until my wife came home. I was like, ooh. I slept for a while, and after my wife get home, I was like, I don't want to get up. You know, that was crazy. At work, watching the live, cool. Just had a Fuente short story, a good short smoke. It is. It's like one of those mind drink. It's like one of them was like for relax and something like that, or like good rest or something. It was orange. So I just drank it, and I was like, and I didn't even drink the whole bottle. I literally drank like 2 sips, and I passed out. 2 sips. So I thought I grabbed another one of these sports drinks by Monster or something like that. I just wasn't looking, and I just drank, and I was just passed out. When melatonin is present, it shuts down your body, It makes you want to go to sleep. So if you have sleeping problem, I always drink that drink. That drink was, I think I bought it because it's sugar free. I didn't really read into it, what's in there. So before I know it, after I get up, I read it. I was like, oh shit, there's melatonin in there. This is a good day. Long day. Has been a long month. Been working 7 days, almost for a month. Well, that also means your pocket is full. Time to buy some more cigars. Do they have it for kids? Well, if you want to do that for your kids, just make sure they have less sugar. That will do it. Yeah, today I actually have my window open a little bit. It's the 70s today. I don't know why I put on the hoodie instead of the short clothing, but I was like out of my mind when I come down. I actually wear a long sleeve inside my hoodie. I don't know why. It's not that cold, but yeah, I'm gonna burn later. I know that. For those people who doesn't know what's different today, did you see what my little guy is holding today? My little guy is holding the brand new Bob the Cigar Guy says I'm awesome, and he's right sticker. Pockets ending Mexican wedding. Super hyper. Well, if they don't get sugar, that means they get too much carb, like bread, noodles, pasta, that kind of stuff. They convert to sugar, so they get hyper too. But I thought your eyebrows are sharp. Yeah, I literally feels like this is kind of weird today. Like, I don't know what happened. It feels like somebody draw on it from the screen. Like, I don't know what happened. Right? It looks like somebody draw on it. Hey, Fernando. So yeah, the group is doing good. If you haven't do the raffle ticket drawing for Bob the Cigar Guy, you should. Last chance. Next week is the drawing time. So if you want to try, even $5 is $5. That all the proceeds goes to Bob. And I have to I receive exciting news and non-exciting news here and there from every members, and particularly how you do it. Just send the money to the group buy account, and then let me know which one you're doing. You're doing Bob Cigar Guys, Bob Cigar Guy for the cigar drawing, or you're doing the Bob Cigar Guy ashtray drawing. So there's two drawings going on. You want the ashtray? I think you're already putting money for the ashtray, so hopefully you win. You never know. You never know. There's always a chance. Who doesn't like bread? Bread product is like godsend. The good thing about bread is that it's cheap to get and it fills you up. If it doesn't fill you up, drink some water, it'll fill you up. You just want to donate, still gotta choose one, you know. You still have to choose one. Cigar is going good. It's just like steady, low amount of pepper. You get this spice going on. Just a little bit hints of coffee is almost not there. Like you kind of pick it up here and there. And creaminess, nuttiness, but spice is up the forefront. People is talking outside. I can hear them. So, who wants to hear me snitch about Bob the Cigar Guy stuff? So I was talking to. This is definitely a light to medium cigar. It's like the lower end of medium. Light to medium. So this is what I heard today when I talked to Bob, the cigar guy. Okay, so he sent over the logo and tried to get the cigar rest. Now I know that people is gonna say there's so many ways to make the cigar rest. Why spend so much money to get that cigar rest? Okay, now the cigar rest is made out of wood, well, made out of metal, and we were pushing for the metal one because he already made the wood one. Now here's the problem with the wood. For $16, you're paying for the wood that may or may not last. All right, let's say you put the wood in your wallet, you could still break it, right? If your thing got like juice on it and all that crazy stuff on it, you can't wash it off. It's it's like chopstick. You wouldn't use the restaurant chopstick that given to you to use one time when made out of wood and use it again and again, expecting to be clean, right? So it's pros and cons between the thing, and wood gets burned too. So as your cigar goes closer to the rest, it's gonna burn the edge a little bit. That's why I push for the metal one. Now, printing also costs money too, right? So all the people is like, oh, just use acrylic and stuff like that. Now, acrylic does cost money too. It costs money for the molding, and it costs money for to shape the logo on it, and I don't think it's gonna show that well on acrylic. Clear acrylic has, in print on it, it's still clear. There's nothing, no color to it, and you don't really want to burn plastic that often, or acrylic that often. So it's gonna cost some money because when he makes it, it's short batch, and if it's small batch, if you know what I mean, like when it comes to small batches, when you make small batches, things get expensive. All right. If Bob was to make 100,000 of those today, each one will probably cost between $5 to $10, the metal one. But he had to make 100,000, right? He's only make 25, so expect the price to go up, to turn on the machine and all that stuff. You get it. So after I talked to him, I feel like the cost is gonna be around $35 shipped. It could be not shipped, but I think $35 shipped. Now $35 it's not cheap, but it's not a lot either, right? So I think $35 will be around the price for that. Now Bob is shy, so he doesn't like to ask the members like, hey, pay me this money, blah blah blah. And you know what's gonna happen, right? If he was the one that's to collect the money to send those out, he probably end up not getting paid majority of the time, right? Because he's like, I'm gonna send you the stuff. If you like it, send me the money, right? And some people, it's not like they don't want to send the money, it's they forget, and then Bob will never ask. So I told Bob that if the manufacturer can get a good quality and all that stuff, and that we're ready to make it, I will be the one to collect money from the members, and so that make sure every pre-order is all set. I'll send the money to him, and he can place the order. Right, place the order, and that way you have a metal one, and you want metal one, because if it's dirty, you wash it off, rinse it right off, right? And keep it your wallet. You don't have to worry about sitting on them. It's metal. You don't have to worry about burning them. It's metal. Actually, if you burn them, it's probably gotta get you a good patina too. Aston Lever, Liga, Turning around. What's with all these names? What did I miss? I have no idea what Martina Maya just talked about, so I was reading it. I don't know what's going on. Oh, work on the review. Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, he's like, oh my god, it's gotta be $35 or something like that. I kind of think that it's too expensive. I told him that, you know, for small batch, $35 is not too bad, and especially something that you can use all the time. I'm pretty sure all of you will be end up using it, taking picture with it all the time. So while he's thinking of a price, I basically snitch on him on the price. That's what he's thinking is gonna cost, and put that as expectation around that price, and then we'll be able to do that. All right, $35. I have a cigar that costs more than $35. Right? It's made out of metal. I mean, metal work does cost a lot, quite a bit, pretty penny. So, but yeah, like I say, I got a cigar that costs more than $35. Easy too. So. How can you do this to me, filthy Viking? The ash just fell off. Like, how can you do this to me? Your egg hunt has been so much fun. I have to say, though, the last one was awesome. I had to make sure that only sometimes I put it out, not all the time. So, you know, if I put it out all the time, then you know where to find them. I'm going to put it out sometime not. So, an update on a few things, okay? Now, the news from what I heard today about the Voyage cigar. Haven't heard that name for a little bit. The Voyage cigar, the band is finally ready for production, so they are going to print the band for the Voyage cigar. The problem is, no company is willing to open their machine to make the boxes, because the box costs quite pretty pennies, and they won't do it unless we make a huge order, like 200, 300 boxes, which doesn't make sense because we want to try to keep the price down, not like the first cigars. So I don't know if the box is gonna happen. I talked to Nolo and say, what about coffins? Let's get at least a coffin going on for the people that wants at least 1 or 2 coffins. And he said we'll look into it. So that's the news right now. If there is gonna be a coffin, I'll let you guys know, because no one's willing to make the box for 5, but we might be able to get some coffins. Well, we already gotta have our own really pretty band, so the band is gonna go in production soon. So I think the band itself is better than no band to start with. Just that how we keep a few that's just for us. Should I just order more tubes? I don't know. So I had to look into it some more while they're printing the band. We'll do some more research on what we can do about the packaging, and we'll go from there, because I don't know what else to do about packaging if no one is willing to turn on the machine for a small batch. And why do I do that? Here we go. Shut off the sound. Because Cigars Daily just sent me an email. Let me see. Get a extra 15% off on Gran Habano cigars. Welcome them to the Cigar Daily catalog. So yeah, you can buy Gran Habanos in Cigars Daily now. You know what that means? That means we'll do a Gran Habano month too. Now, while we're at that, no, it's not that I don't like Ezra cigars. It's just that their gimmick is just too often and didn't feel like that they put the same amount of design or care into each of them. Some of them looks interesting that I might smoke, but some of them just like not even close. Yeah, I did hear about Cuba closing again, and yeah, all the cruise ship is dropping their prices left and right because they had to change the itinerary and stuff like that. But do you really want to go to Cuba? Yeah, I mean, Cuba is not the only place you can get cigars. Cuba is definitely not the only place you can get Cubans. So there are other tropical places you can go to. I mean, those rules are kind of dumb, but in a way, it is what it is. Some people want to exert their power and all that stuff. Uh, so yeah, I don't plan to go to Cuba anytime soon. So didn't bother me, but yeah, if you think about it, like there are a few things that you can do Cuba that you can do anywhere else too, like Nicaragua, DR, which I don't recommend you go to DR right now because there's so many news about that, and Honduras, and even tropical places. There's plenty of places you can go to enjoy like a cigar itinerary. Yeah, especially DR and Nicaragua. So I think if you go to Nicaragua, you get to visit Plasencia's factory. That's a sight to see. Nice. Hey, it's Tristan. I haven't seen him from on our show for a while, because I don't get to say the Steig Haifa for a while. So yeah, here's a change of our shows here and there too, because I was thinking about like what can the shows are usually announcement and stuff like that. How do we make it so that it has more of a direction, right? So to do that, for every Wednesday show, let's do a battle between two cigars, like what we did today and the last time. Battle between two cigars, right? I'll choose two cigars about the Robusto side. They have to be Robusto side because they will go over the 2 hour if I don't. So battle between the two cigars on Wednesdays, and Saturdays we'll review one cigar. And usually I think Saturdays we can do predetermined cigars. So like for example, this month we decided that it's gonna be Fratello June. So Fratello June we'll do every Saturday is a Fratello, and we can do other stuff. I just continue to do brand to brand until we run out of brands. All right. Battle Wednesday, exactly. What do you mean, Tony? DR is probably super cheap after this news. Well, you also get a lot of news about people dying in DR lately. There's a lot of people dying in DR, and all for around the same issue: heart attack, heart blow the heart, or something like that. I think even Barbara Cochran said that her brother or her cousin died in DR too. So that's why I have my concerns. I'm not saying that the country itself is that dangerous, but there are places in the country that's dangerous. And being a tourist, you probably don't know where that is. When you go to that all-inclusive resort or all-access resorts, they'll tell you where is the borderline that you do not cross. And sometimes you just one step over, you're dead. Okay? So it's kind of dangerous. So. But then again, if you go into that kind of not really developed area with mostly nature and fun parties, you gotta end up with some issues. And there are things that you shouldn't try, but you just end up trying. So do it at your own discretion, I guess. I mean, DR could be fun. People who go to DR, especially people that's local, that's a different story. I mean, the people who shot the Big Poppy, he apparently he was his fan. He doesn't even know they were gonna shoot him. And from what I heard is that they thought he was sleeping with a gangster mob's wife or something like that, but he wasn't. So don't have the full story. Can't tell you the full story. So at least he's gotta survive. Spinach is pretty good. So cigar right now at this point, I think that's like the key point of the cigar. This part, it's like really flavorful. It's got anise in the forefront with some wood tone, creaminess, a little bit of nuttiness at the end. Still very little amount of pepper. Very little amount of pepper. It's like eating like ginger and scallion pepper shrimp or something like that. Not crazy amount. It does make your nose run a little bit, but it's still really good. The burn, not bad, except this little angle at the back, on the bottom. I don't know. That's probably because the way I rested or something like that, but we'll see. We'll see. You know, I always prefer Robusto over Toro. And, I mean, this is really not Toro. This is more like a Churchill. This is more like a Churchill. So. But I like this size because it's easy to smoke. You know, 1 hour, low commitment. Half an hour through, we're already halfway through with the same good blend. I think this is great. You know, Rocky Patel did this right. Oh, they glued the band quite tight on this one. Okay, here we go. So yeah, Wednesdays we'll do the battles, the cigar battles. Battle Wednesday. And Saturdays we'll do monthly reviews. With that said, keep giving me ideas about which two cigars that you want to see the battle against. If I have those cigars, I'll put them head to head, right against each other. If I don't, then I have to wait. If I have the cigars, I will battle them together. Yeah, and if you watch this for the very first time and you're not watching this live, leave it in a comment. I'll still read it. Exactly. You don't. You get to that point. It's like I have enough. I don't have enough time now. I have to run. So you don't really finish the last little bit. But for this cigar, I think the last little bit is good. All right. I think the last little bit is better than the first little bit. So Magic Toast versus Liga number 9. That's doable. I think that's doable. Really good cigar. I love this cigar. This cigar is great. However they designed this cigar, the blend and you know the quality is not bad at all. Granted that this is still considered as a premium cigar now. I mean at the $8 price point, that's really a you know a premium cigar. You know if you think about it, the $8 point, because all the other cigars about $5 point. For Cigars Daily. For this is like Cigars Daily exclusive, more towards the premium side. While we're going to smoke for our group smoke day on the 22nd, we are smoking the Fratello Nefta. I think that's what's called. Nefta. We're smoking the Inverso this Saturday. And don't forget, 22nd is the day that we gotta do the drawings. So 22nd is gonna be a lot of smoke, a lot of drawings, and I'm gonna announce who's the winner for chicken dinner that night too. So really good cigar at this point. Love the flavor, love the blend. Very smooth at this point. The burn's a little funny, but it's correcting itself more now. So, you know, once that fell down, it's correcting itself more. So, like, you know, we're half an hour through. How's everybody's cigars? Is anybody else smoking something different? Is it today happens to be a special day? You're smoking something different, kind of thing? And I see people are redoing their introduction video, so props to you. Even if you got nothing to say, really just had to introduce yourself, you know, just kind of have this down, right? Who are you? What do you do? What kind of cigar you like? That's pretty much it. Everything else is a bonus. Underground Churchill, that's a long one. Okay. Last call with cream soda for me. Cream soda is like perfect pairing for most cigars. For some reason that just works. Found something, smoking something I found in the new brick and mortar. Okay. I'm smoking Alec Bradley Max because I got my first Humidor a few cigars. Cool. Smoke is tasty on this one. This smoke is great. I definitely prefer the Robusto size more, and I think that will be the size I buy from now on. I don't think I'll be buying any more of the Toro / Churchill size. Yeah, because I called it Robusto last time, right? So it is long. It's too long for a short enjoyment. I think I usually don't finish it. So having coffee and a General Grant. I need to try that General Grant because I never tried that before. Good night. Was that Austin, right? That was Austin. So yeah, the smoke is good. It's going. It burns well. I definitely like the size that will go within the hour. I think the flavor is more stronger on this one. It could be because it's shorter and has less to filter through. You get through that first third very quickly, so that the rest of the flavor joins the party very quickly. So I think this is the better size. This is the size that's supposed to be. But I have to say, because the band is so big, it makes this size look awesome. This size look badass. Like, if you go out there, go to an event, and obviously you gotta spend a long time in the event, this size will be perfect. But you enjoy it for yourself, Robusto is it. San Cristobal, 30 for $20, especially budget stay. Probably 15 to 20 minutes smoke. That's really short. That actually burns really quick. 15 to 20 minutes. That's quick. Is it a Corona size? I wonder. Like, the 15 to 20 minutes is really short amount of time. So I also look for one of our live show. I will be smoking a pipe. All right, because one of my members was talking about pipe the other day, and then he's going to send me one, and obviously, it's on the way. So since they're here, I will smoke it. All right, I will smoke it, but don't expect me to be an expert or anything. I will use that to compare to a cigar. Battle Wednesdays. All right, we'll do it on a Battle Wednesday. We'll smoke it with a cigar, and you'll see me like have no idea what I'm doing. So expect that to be a funny episode, I guess. I'm kind of wary about it. I definitely will stumble, will do it wrong. Most likely crack the pipe on first day. Who knows? But I will try. I'll give it a try. For science, I'll give it a try. Ooh, that's hot. Somebody send it to me, I have to do it. I'm not gonna say, hey, send it to me and then just leave it to the side and then, crazy stuff. But I have to try it. Thank you for subscribing. You get the two zombies running around. Yeah, so once I try, I'll let you guys know how hard it is to pick up as a novice pipe smoker and how they look like as Asian. Oh my God, the meme that's gonna come up. I can only imagine. That live was very informative. Yeah, there's a lot of information in there. You literally, like, if your first time, you never tried it before, you could just pick up a pipe and then just follow that, and you'll be able to get it started. Right? So that's a good information, and only happens in Shadow Smokers Legion, where we love information. Just don't send me Gurkha, man. Just don't send me Gurkha. Martin, if you send me Gurkha, I don't know what to do with it. Wait until you get your pipe. One of them is epic. I can only imagine. So, that's happening. You take Gurkha. 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 This thing burns relatively quick. It's only 40 minutes. I'm almost done with it. So, yeah, we'll definitely be able to do the battle between the two cigars today. If you haven't tried this, you should definitely smoke one of these, because this one, I think, kicks the original one's ass. This shorter version of it is really much better, I think. Much better. Burns faster, smokes better. Good for short enjoyment. And it's not too crazy strong. It's just light to medium, so you can have second cigar after that. Totally fine. Hey, Chief, what's going on, man? Because yeah, for me, all the gurkha I tried, I did not like, and obviously it has to do with the person who's smoking it. You know, for me, that's just not my palate. It doesn't follow the way I like it, so that's the only problem with me. But some people love gurkha. Now, there are some people swear by it. There are some people that just love gurkha. I know about the cigar guy love gurkha. You know, I just choose not liking gurkha. You know, for example, there are some people that hate Davidoff too. So, just the way it is. Just the way it is. Gold was the first one I did on live, and I couldn't even finish that one. Gold Silver, I could not finish the first third, I think. It was as bad as my soy sauce cigars, in my opinion. So, again, that's my personal opinion. We all smoke differently. There are some cigars we all like because they're just universally liked. There's some cigars that's just not. Hey, Sammy! Sammy! That thing's gotta stick. I think that's gotta stick. Every time I see Sammy, I'm gonna call him Sammy and screaming. So yeah, since Chief asked this question last time, I want to mention it. We welcome anybody want to do live smoke sessions on our group. We welcome it. We welcome it. So there's not much rules in terms of doing live in our group. However, just make sure that not two people is doing it at the same time, because obviously you can't watch two at the same time. So just make sure there's no one else is running the live. If it is, go into live, says I'll call the next one after you're done, or something like that. You can be in live show anytime you want in the group. Just make sure no one else is on it. Okay, I usually do it, you know, whenever I have time to smoke. But if you are gonna go on, just let me know. I'll get off and watch yours. You know, I'm totally fine with that. So we're pretty laid back. All the rules in our group are very easy, very normal, common sense kind of rules. So it's nothing that's gonna stop, you know, us sharing the information, sharing the time together. You know, go ahead and do them. Totally fine. But Chief, those frogs, those frogs. Oh my God. Now I need a new OG. Hey, I'll make one. I'll make one. That's fine. Just say me on it. I just don't see the rule set in stone about it. I didn't want to upset anyone by going like, no. And you're doing right by asking. You know, if you're not sure, you can always ask. Always message me. I tend to respond to message relatively quick as soon as I see them. I'm those kind that's kind of crazy about message. I hate it when I read it, don't respond it. And I also hate the other way around. Like when I text somebody and they don't respond, it's like, what's the point to have a cell phone if you're not gonna respond? We'll pick up the phone, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, I usually try to respond within as soon as I see it, pretty much. How do you get your logo sticker? You message me and pay for them. I send it to you. That's how you get it. But I only have few versions right now, not a lot. I haven't been replenishing the stickers because I always think that, you know, we like new stickers all the time. So unless there's new designs, I don't make too much of them. But if there's enough demand, I'll have it reprint. Because obviously, you know, the stickers used to support the channel and all that stuff, but obviously I'm not in business, so I'm not really looking to make money. In fact, anybody who does live knows that you're losing money doing live. You lose money doing live. I spend probably $6,000 this year on cigars, and I think $2,000 or $3,000 is for this channel. So, well, for the group. So, just do the math. You know, you can't just continue to do a lot of them because it costs a lot of money. Do you have any pins left? The button pins? These ones? I might. I think I should. But lapel pins are coming out soon, so you might want to wait for the lapel pins. I don't know. If you like this one, then yeah, I still have them. You'd be surprised how fast you can spend the money for groups. you'd be surprised. What's everybody smoking tonight? So tonight we're doing the Battle Wednesday. So we're smoking the Filthy Viking. I'm smoking the Filthy Viking Robusto, and I'm gonna compare with the Cain Daytona right after this one. So the lapel pins, I think sometime this month the demo will be sent to me. $150 for demo. $150 just for demo. They charge me an arm and a leg just for demo. And I think they gotta send me 5 pieces. 5 pieces for demo. So yeah, that's why I say when Bob tell me that the Mitchell one is gonna cost like $35, like that's not that bad. That's actually not that bad. What's Christina asked? What did I miss about Christina? Christina, where I'm just searching for the chat. I just noticed Grand Habano Grooming, yeah, it's on CD now. So I'm pretty sure they will have a sample pack or something like that. We will do maybe Grand Habano July. Who knows? We'll find out. Grand Habano July. What do you guys think? Basically, I'll just buy the sampler if there is one, and then we'll just go with it. Yeah, I was reading that same email because during the live the message just popped up, and you know, I just basically looked at it because it's Cigars Daily, right? Cigars Daily. Herrera Asteli going on right now. That's a good cigar, actually. I like the design for that particular cigar brand. It's actually not bad. What I didn't like is sometimes with a few of the cigar they have paper wrapper at the end. Those really makes it more easily. So I don't like that. I do take it off. So sometimes if you don't take it off for a while, by the time you take it out, you find like more right in the front of the foot. So that's not good. It has inconsistency in keeping the humidity in the cigar. Whoever designed that. So it's Wednesday. This year's Ghost Month for Asian are August 1st. And I guess you guys like to hear a ghost story once in a while. So, you know, August 1st is when the door to hell opens up. It allows people who passed, did not reincarnate, to go home. And that's what we do on August 1st. Well, we use lunar calendar for that. It's July in lunar calendar. The door opens. And the door opens for a week. Well, a month, but they go home for a week. It's an interesting time. People most likely go to like haunted places during that time. and it's during the season before that month. So around now and July, where all the TV show will have ghost story and tell you what not to do in the ghost month. So many people like to do things in ghost month and get in trouble with it. Now, if you are not religious or you're Christian, you might not believe in that kind of stuff. But for Chinese religions, so many people got in trouble with it. So many people. When I say got in trouble, it's like got in trouble. Now, if you guys want to hear a ghost story, I can share a few from my friends who run into them. Yeah. So in Chinese religion, you don't go to heaven. Heaven's for the gods, right? So only way to go to heaven is if you have committed yourself into Buddhism and became a saint, and your body became relics. You know what that means? Now, relics basically is bones of people who became a saint. No, the American is J.C. Newman. I really got no one. Okay, purgatory. Well, no, you do go back. So, it's just a small vacation. They allow their your ancestors and whatever who choose not to reincarnate. You can choose to not reincarnate. That's the Buddhism thing. You reincarnate if you choose to. You can choose not to reincarnate. Hell is a big gigantic city. From the description is there's a long bridge that walk all the way to the end to the door of hell, and you get judged. If you're a bad person, you gotta go through 18 levels. Well, there's 18 levels basement, and you gotta go to every level has its own punishment. And if you're like an absolutely bad guy that murders people, whatever, you'll go to the very bottom, 18th floor, go through the torture for how many amount of year. You go to the 17th floor and just continue to go up until you're on first floor. Now, first floor is like, it's like lobby, right? So everybody had their place to stay and all that stuff. And then if you choose to reincarnate, you gotta go through the judge and says, I would like to be reincarnated. And he says, well, the previous life you were blah, 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 blah. So next time you gotta reincarnate to something. And then you walk through this bridge. And this bridge has a old lady over there. Or they call it old lady. She serves soup or tea. A bowl of tea to you, and once you drink that tea, you forget everything about your life. All right, all the hate, all the love, all the feelings, all the friends, you forget everything. All right, and then after you drink that, you walk by you don't forget it immediately. You drink that, you walk by the bridge, and every step you forget something. And once you get to the end of the bridge, you reincarnate. Come on. All right. So that's dead. I'm not going to relight it so that we can continue with the next one. It's not really a religion talk. It's more like a core knowledge talk, I guess. I'm not telling you to believe in Buddhism because Buddhism is a lifestyle. It's not religion. Buddhism is a lifestyle. Okay? Why? Because you can choose not to go to temple ever in your life. Right? You don't have to do anything. Buddhism is a lifestyle. You choose to believe something. You choose to pick part of that. And in the end, all religions try to tell you to do good. And basically, Buddhism teaches you basically do good, so that you don't have to go to that 18th floor of the hell. You might go to 3 or 4 floor because you cheated and wanted to gambling without telling anybody, something like that. All right. So Buddhism is a lifestyle. It teaches you to honor gods and whatever. It teaches you to be honorable person, but not necessarily have to go to temples or ever. There are some Buddhist people that never, ever, ever been to a temple before. And it just happens. Okay, so let's light the next one up while this one sits right here. And if you're coming late, the reason I choose this cigar is because the color and the size is exactly the same. Relatively the same. So I choose something that's similar to Battle Royale. So yeah. Now, people who choose not to reincarnate in this story basically stays in the lobby, right? And they look after their descendant. Oh no, Rika. They look after their descendants. Sometimes they need something in hell. Okay? So they'll go back and then they'll have a meal what we believe is that if you're ghost, you can only have things that are destroyed. Meaning, if you burn something, it can be good there. So it's funny because some people burn a paper iPhone and thinking that in hell they will be able to use an iPhone. That is copper. It looks like a rose gold, but I think they call it copper. Good draw on this one too. It's gonna be a good smoke. So they are allowed to go home for a week and basically try their best to convey their message of what they need. And some of them don't have families that they can go back to. You know, they're not being honored or whatever. So during that time, they'll cause havoc. And believe it or not, there are some illegal immigrants as a ghost. What happens is they will leave during that month and never go back. That sticker is sweet, and that's staying. That's staying there. All right, that sticker is staying there because I need to remind me how awesome I am every single day because I don't think I'm that awesome. But Bob says so. Bob says so. I heard Zyka has some cool stuff coming out of the IPCPR. You know, I look into it. I'm not a big Zyka person. I do like their big, gigantic lighters, but I don't feel like the need sometimes, so I don't particularly pick up Zykars. But this Calibri served me very, very well. All right, very, very well. The two go-to item, obviously. Before anybody was repping them, I had the Calibri as one of my go-to. And obviously, I have the Vertigo that Cigar Mechanic is repping right now. But I had it way before he started repping them. It was good to use. It was really good to use. I don't worry about using this. I don't worry about losing it because you can buy a boatload of this for the cost of a cigar. Everything is awesome when you're part of the team. Here it goes. I think the new Lego has a song that says everything is not awesome or something like that. Nobody ever likes to click likes on my shows. I don't know. They hated my shows sometimes. All right. Right away, cedar, hay, anise, very light anise. There's not a lot of pepper. A little bit citrusness to it. In terms of the flavor from the first draw, I think the Filthy Viking had the stronger first draw. So we'll see if it picks up, just like the Filthy Viking did. A little bit of earthiness to it too. Very little, but it's there. Creaminess is also there. Smoke output, very good. I think it climbs, so it's very good. So yeah, back to the story. And basically, they will stay, and then we have agents from hell that will come and pick him up. So there's a whole story of how things going on like the underworld, and you know, for Buddhism they follow that and they try to not to get into troubles. And there are people obviously that never go to hell. They just don't have a way to leave, and they will stay in Earth. And those are the haunted places, right? Asia has one of the most haunted places in the entire world. One of the most haunted places. You hear like the top 10 haunted places in the world. You can name top 10 just in Asia easily. Remember one of the episodes I told you guys that I used to live in a haunted building. I don't even know. I didn't even know that was a haunted building. But it always feels weird. It always feels weird. That's what I'm talking about. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. At least 12 people, 13 like. I like that. That's good. Usually my live don't go over 20 people. So it's all good. It is late time, so I will figure, you know, it makes sense. This one is a little dry in terms of mouthfeel. It's a little dry. You can feel the tingling from pepper, but it's a little dry. Yep, the earthiness is going through, more earthy than cedar. Cedar is dying in here. It's not really a lot of cedar. Predominantly is the dryness and is the earthiness. And through the nose, you get the anise. That's pretty much it. Yep. A little bit of sweetness too. I think it's from the anise though. Hashtag mouthfeel. I get to talk about mouthfeel because, hey, Tim don't like to talk about it. I'll talk about it. No issue. So far, pretty light. This is a lighter cigar, I think. This is also light to medium, but right now it's the lighter side. Almost like beginner cigar light. The burn, pretty good. It's burning straight. In terms of the look, though, if you see it, I don't think you could. You can see kind of the Filthy Viking is kind of oilier. It's more oily in terms of the wrapper. But it could be because I smoked it a little bit. This one looks much drier, not less shine. Yeah, when I'm on diet, you're gonna see me pairing with an energy drink because there's no calorie to it. Well, not calorie, no carb to it. So that it keeps allows me to smoke with some sweetness and not pass out because of lack of sugar. So there's no sugar in there, but there is like stuff like sucrose and like where is it? Citric acid, which is kind of sweet. It's a sweetener. Flavor, gum, Arabic. Those are all sugar. But they're artificial, so they go into the system as sugar, but your system can't process them, cannot break it down. If you don't know what that is sucrose is literally sugar, glucose. Break one cell out of it, and then you get sucrose. It's like half sugar. Now because it's already broken down, your body cannot break it again, so your body doesn't process it. It doesn't trigger as much insulin because your body knows that I can't break this down to glucose because it's already one less than glucose. You can't break it down more, and your body can't use it. So it doesn't trigger you to build fat. Honey has one of the highest sugar index out there. So if you use with honey, it will spike your insulin. Then when your insulin spikes, it starts to store everything that can convert to glucose into fat. It's a storing mode. When you have insulin going on, it's a storing mode. So you're storing fat. So when you try to lose weight, you want your insulin to not kick in as much as possible. And that's why you drink sugar-free drinks or something that has no sugar, because those drinks are able to get you some sugar but doesn't process it. So when you have nicotine, you feel dizzy. Usually sugar will make you feel better. And when you're on a diet, because you don't have that much carbs to kind of keep you going, keep your blood going, you will feel dizzy. You get the vitamin N will hitting much quicker. So by drinking a sweeter drink, it actually calms it down a little bit. So that's like the only way. If you just smoke it without it, you're gonna feel sick much faster. Now there's other sugary stuff, monk fruits, what's it, stevia. They're all sugar. So no. It's quite the opposite. Carbohydrates breaks down to glucose, not the other way around. Honey has glucose, so it automatically just take the glucose. So it still will translate to carbohydrate. If you look at a nutrition guideline, like honey, a tablespoon of honey is like 20 to 30 carbohydrate because of the amount of sugar that's in there. Not because it's carbohydrate, it's because it counts as carbohydrate. So when you look at the nutrition guideline on the side, it will say total carb. And then under that, in the subcategory, you'll see sugar. So because sugar is carbohydrate. Well, carbohydrate breaks down to sugar. Everything in your body breaks down to the lowest amount of steps that it can break. And for carbohydrate, it breaks down to sugar, with two exceptions. Fiber is a carbohydrate. Now, what does carbohydrate really mean? Is anything that can carry water. Carbohydrate, right? Carbs, hydrate, it means water. So anything that can carry water is a carbohydrate. So bread, if you put in the water, it sucks water, carbohydrate. Fruits, if you put in water, it kind of plumps up a little bit, carbohydrate. So anything that can carry water is carbohydrate. It always breaks down. Everything that you eat breaks down to vitamin, energy source, and sugar. All right, so you always gotta get sugar in some of the stuff. So everything that you eat breaks down sugar, with few exceptions. Protein. Meat does not break it down to carbohydrate because meat has protein. And the thing about protein is that your body stores protein as a protein because protein can break into anything that you need. Anything that your body needs, protein. Hey, Chris. Wouldn't honey turn into potential energy if you're actively burning enough calories and natural sugar for energy doesn't sit in the system? Yes and no. Okay, so you kind of confuse calories with energy. Okay, calories mean it's a measurement of how much you can burn to energy. Right? It's a count. So everything kind of have calories, and sugar has calories, fat has calories, but fat is not a carbohydrate, right? It just means how much energy you can get out of this particular food. And sugar, yes, sugar will give you energy. That's because it converted to glucose, and blood sugar gives you some energy. In reality, you will still need other vitamins to convert that into energy. So your brain will use sugar because glucose, the basic, when we say sugar, it's actually glucose that we're talking about. We're not talking about sugar. If sugar goes in your system, it gets separated and break down into glucose. Hydrocarbons. What kind of hydrocarbon were we talking about? This one also too. First third, it kind of breaks down a little bit. It broke down around the same time Filthy Viking did, so that's interesting. Basically, to lose weight, you basically want to avoid insulin. Period. Insulin is produced at your gallbladder, and it brings out to store the glucose. So the less glucose that you eat, or anything that you can convert to glucose, the less you'll gain weight. So long as your body is not using glucose, you can use fat as energy, and fat is a more constant energy versus sugar. Sugar is for boosting, boost energy. So like birds, they fly, they use a lot of energy flying. They need a boost of energy, so they eat seeds and fruits and all that stuff. Human, we don't. So we can eat protein, we can eat fat to use as energy. Just that nowadays everything has sugar, so kind of get used to using sugar as energy. But if you talk about back in the days before cane sugar was ever discovered, there's no such thing as sugar. You don't need sugar as energy. Okay, slight bitterness with the anise tone. It's primarily anise and spice, but there's a little bit of bitterness at the end of that. Is this cigar enjoyable? Yes. But again, the mix of flavoring is not as nicely blended as the Filthy Viking at this point. Alright, a little bit pepper as well. A little bit of citrusy. Yeah, there's a bitterness at the end with that dryness to it. That my nose just sore just now from the amount of smoke that's going through. And you get a little bit of hay, you get a little bit of that earthiness to it, but it's not as strong of a flavor. It goes away relatively quickly compared to the Filthy Viking. So yeah, basically, the sugar gets shoved into fat cell. The fat cell enlarges. I'll have a layer of fat cells. It's just there. You cannot go to 0% fat. It's not possible. So, all right, Chief. Talk to you later. And so, if you eat honey, it's all sugar. It is easier to break down to glucose to be used. Whatever gets break down gets used first. But still, that's sugar. So you gotta gain weight. Gotta lose weight, avoid those, and that's it. The end. You'll get a leaner body just for doing that. A lot of body trainers, before they go to the like Mr. America competitions, they will go through a ketogenic diet just so that they'll lose the excess excess fat and water. Because when you're on a keto diet, you will release water a lot because you're on a more saltier diet. You will lose a lot of water. You will not retain water because no carb to retain the water. So you lose the water weight a lot quicker. You lose 10 pounds of water weight in the first 2 weeks. So they do go through that and they go back to eat whatever. And yeah, you use that as energy, and so long as you burn that much energy, you're fine. But again, how do you know how much energy are you really burning? Not two persons the same. Metabolisms are different. There's no way to know exactly how much fat you're burning, how much calorie you're burning. You can only go with the what they call macro, and your body will get used to that macro and follow that macro, but there's no way to calculate it. Oh yeah, some people cheat like that. When you want to go to like boxing match and stuff like that, you go into your weighting, and they will starve themselves so that they'll get into that weight, and before the fight they will just eat. So there's no way to really measure it. I mean, we talked about this before, where people are healthy 200-pound lean 8% fat people go through the weighting and says, hey, you're obese. that doesn't work. The measurement system today just not work that well. It works for average people who doesn't do exercise, but when you pack up muscle weights, there's no way to calculate that. There is no way to calculate that. You only know that when you don't have enough, because you're losing weight, you're losing muscle. So you pack more, and then use that as a baseline. But there's no way to tell. For average smoker, I don't really care how much weight I pack in, really. I just care that whether or not I fit into my clothes. Because if I get too big, now I have to buy new clothes. So I have two sets of clothes. I have fat clothes, I have skinny clothes. Skinny clothes is about 30 to 32 waist, and the fat clothes is about 34 to 36 waist. And that was the only difference. I mean, so long as I fit into that gap of clothes, I'm okay. But I love to eat, so I like the summertime to use more weight because, I don't want to be too big in the summertime. It gets really hot. And the wintertime, I don't mind to pack on the weight. I'm gonna eat. Wintertime is all the celebrations going on. Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's all food. I don't want to miss any of those, so I'm not gonna do diet around that time. During the winter time, when I'm like in the fat mode, I'll eat cookies all day. All right, I will buy a box of cookies. I'll finish that all day. I'll eat at 1 o'clock reading book, 1 a.m. reading book. I'm just eat cookies. cookie after cookie after cookie. I'm lucky I've been the same size since I was 15 and 16. Still the same some pants and for my teens. That just means that you're a very active person. I'm not that active person. I'll get lazy just, I don't want to mow my lawn, stuff like that. I'll get lazy. And a majority of office work, you don't move all that much. So you're not really burning that much energy. And I don't go to gym because even though I have gym membership, I don't go to gym because I just think that I don't want to torture my body to do that. I think that my body can just, when I eat too much, just eat less. Go back and forth, that's totally fine. Like Muslim has Ramadan, I think that's what it is. That's basically going through a diet. So, but they're still fat, so I don't know. Well, yeah, if you're 6'3", then yeah, you will be, you'll use a lot of more energy to sustain your body than not. So, but for Asian, you know how much rice we eat? That's a crazy amount of carbs. So, I eat all day and then all the food and all the stuff just adds up. And I love cakes. I love cake. I love sweets. I love things that are good, like amount of calorie that I pack on during the winter time is just unbelievable. And I will do intermittent fasting. So I'll have my 8-hour window to eat. But that 8 hour, I probably pack 4,000 to 6,000 calories when I'm gaining weight. So I have food coma every single day. Okay, so now I'm getting a little bit sweet. I'm getting a little bit cedar. Still get that bitterness at the end though. It's not too hot. I'm not burning it too hot. It's not a charred taste. It just had that little bit of subtle bitterness at the end. Anise is dying out a little bit. You get a little bit more wood tones now. A little bit more. Just a little bit more. Not a lot. Not particularly like shooing the head. Go, oh my god, what is this? But there is some going on. I don't know. In terms of the enjoyment, this is still good enjoyment, but I think this is closer to a beginner cigar than the Filthy Viking. The Filthy Viking is more strong. It's more like there, like presence is there. This one, flavor goes in, it goes out right away. It fades out right away. If you know what I'm talking about, like when you smoke, sometimes even your saliva tastes like that flavor, but this one, there's not much left in the saliva. There's not much going after the smoke has left, if that makes any sense. I almost feel like it's gotten lighter. It's gotten lighter as it progressed. For Filthy Viking, it got stronger as it progressed. This one, it got lighter as it progressed. Right now at the halfway point. It's good and it's bad. It's good, it's bad. It's good, it's bad. I don't know. It's more of a beginner cigar. But the nicotine is there though. Do I like the Filthy Viking Robusto more than the Toro? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In terms of size, I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect size. Here. It is more flavorful. It is more easy to smoke. It is more less time consuming, so less commitment in this. I'm just dusting this off so I can light a little bit more at the end of this to compare it at the end. So I'm just gonna relight this in just a little bit, and we'll compare the taste again. But yeah, I think it's definitely worth to order. If they still have the sampler pack, you can get a bunch of sampler to go with it. So that's a good way to try one. I mean, obviously you can just order one. I mean, Cigar City, they allow you to order one. Wouldn't make sense for paying the shipping to order just one. But if you're wary, you can order just one. For those people that already tried the Toro version, if you like that, you definitely will like this one. Guaranteed. Because I did. And I like the first one. I like the Toro. It's just too long. It's just too long. The burn time is just way too long. This, the Robusto get just under an hour. And I smoke fast. Especially when you're doing a review, you smoke quite fast. So, it will last you about hour 15 for people who smoke slower. Stacy Hathaway. Stacy might be new. I've never seen Stacy, I think. So I wanted to be nice and order Martin something for our anniversary. What would you recommend? Or should I buy him new underwear? I say buy him new underwear. Yeah. I will buy a box. I plan to buy a box when I go there. Because I want everybody there to sign the box. So I'll buy it when I get there. For Martin and Maya, there's a lot of things you can be buying. You can buy him a new microphone. That's one. You can buy him... Just don't buy him cigars. Philly Viking is one of my favorite morning sticks. It's a great steak, but you gotta spend like almost 2 hours to go through that morning steak. So he has a microphone. He needs a better microphone. Where I don't hear a Volkswagen buggy driving by. I know Martin Amaya wants a hoodie. He might not be able to use it right now, but he will be able to use it later on. Pocket knife, scissor. Yeah, he needs things to unpack his stuff. Box compressor that breaks down the box for him. He gets. I think the only thing he doesn't need is cigar related because he gets a lot of those. Pocket knife was a Father's Day gift. Okay. So what can we get Martin for anniversary? Well, it depends on your budget, I guess. It depends on the budget too. So car air freshener, he might need that. A car air freshener. Ashtray for the car, because he's smoking the car. An ionizer for the car. What's that thing called? A hammock for his backyard when he smoked right next to the side. So if he has to fall asleep while he smoke, he could. What else does he need? I can't think like he needs anything else other than those, really. So, in terms of cigars, everybody sent him stuff. So, new lawnmower, the one that you can ride on, while he's smoking a cigar, and then you have to get him a lawnmower cigar holder, Now he have no excuse to not mow the lawn when he can just ride on it and smoke the cigar at the same time. And after you get that, you get a cigar holder for the lawnmower. Then you have to get him a mount for his camera for the lawnmower, so he can ride the lawnmower, review cigar at the same time. A vacuum cleaner, that works too. A portable vacuum cleaner. A vacuum cleaner. Get him a nice one. Get him a Dyson handheld vacuum cleaner so he can clean his car more often. Oh yeah, that. Yeah. Get him a gazebo. You know those 4 leg standard gazebo. He can build a back door, a porch door. That will do it too. So he never have to run into a situation where he's holding for his dear life with umbrella. Yeah, that bitterness stays. I don't know. He will live outside. Then in that case, a doghouse. Ah. What else did he have? He already have a humidor. He have his ashtray is the public street, so there's no ashtray needed. Whatever you get, just don't get him clothing. Oh, well, not don't give him suits. Don't give him ties. Don't give him colognes. Yeah, things that he can use, I guess. Well, I think the best way is to ask him, like right now. Martina Maya, what would you like for anniversary gift? Hey, Christopher. We're doing the battles between 2 cigars. Filthy Viking Robusto and the Cain Daytona. Yeah. Get him an underwear that has funny prints. No. Don't ever give him that. Don't ever give him that. He doesn't need that. But you can get him bullets. I will go make one if he's gonna wear it on screen. Guns are awesome, but it's one of those things that you really want to pick out the one that you want. The one that you tried it on, the one that you feel that is good. Because if you buy him guns, he needs to buy a safe. Or a lock. With kids in the house, he definitely needs a lock and a safe. That's even higher expense. That escalated quickly. Really quickly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I said give him bullets. He can stare at the bullets and feel like he has something. Did you not see his picture? His whole family take up an entire row in the movie theater. Gave him a basketball court in the backyard with 2 lounge chairs. Then get him a gun safe. Get him a safe. He will fill it in. $80 movies. Oh yeah, I understand. So if you guys saw my pictures, I did book our entire theater room for one movie because my wife asked me how it feels like to have all the seats. So we bought all the tickets. I don't remember how much it cost, but we bought all the tickets so that we get to be the only 2 people in that movie. Morning tickets are cheap. They're like $6 a ticket. So I just bought all the seats. That was $1 movie. I'm too used to be single with no responsibilities. I can have guns sitting in my room. Responsibility is a fun thing to have. I don't think Martina Maya will complain about having his responsibility. It's a fun thing to have. I like to come home with noises. That's why I mean I don't have kids, but I have dogs. So when I open the door, I hear my dog. I feel like the house is lively. You know, I don't like to be alone. So having kids is definitely good. You know, when you go home, you feel welcome. You know, it's different kind of responsibility. You know, once you have kids, I guess it's different. Your focus shift a little bit, and it's definitely a nice to have. A nice to have. Ash fell down again. Nice. Happy birthday to your kids. Kids grow up fast. They grow up fast, especially between, you know, before 10. You know, they grow from like little to little, you know, really quickly. So they change fast too. You gotta catch up to them. You know, they. It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge to have. Everybody who have kids will agree what I'm talking about. All I want to see is my lady and the cat. Yeah, I mean, when you go home, when you're single, you go home to a dark house. It feels very different than when you get home. You hear, Dad's home! Ah! Everybody comes out, it's like, just let me change already, I'm tired. You know, that's totally different feel. And I like that feeling. I like that feeling when I come home. Somebody say, hey, welcome home. Well, once you get married for more than 20 years, you might not hear that welcome home anymore. So that might change, but you're going home to a warm house with lights on. Very different feel. Very different feel. It brightens your day right away. And even that, still, noise is good. Noise. You go in and say, hey, what are you guys playing? Can I join? No? Okay, fine. I'll go smoke a cigar. I don't think there's any better feeling to get your ass kicked by your kid playing video game. Because I'm the same way. I isolate when I'm not at work because I work a lot with lots of negative people at work. Welcome home turn to you. Why y'all home? Whenever they all say dad's home, and they all come out greet you, including the dog. That's a great feeling. That's a great feeling. All your work stress kind of melts away a little bit. Not saying that they're not there anymore, but for that moment, you know why you're working for. You know why you're working for. Well, yeah. But the next day morning when you hear they're all waking up and stuff like that, it's still a different feeling, right? I mean, in the end, having kids is a beautiful thing. I wish I have kids, but I don't. But having kids is a beautiful thing. I mean, I love my friends' kids. I spoil them to death. You know, I do that. But because I don't have kids. I am focused to try to have kids, but it's not one of those things I could decide. Hey, Marcelo! They bombard him when he can't even give up. Now, see, that's an awesome thing to do. Feel popular. You know, your kid's is hero. You know, the whole world can hate you, but having a family is a different story, right? Even when you have argument with your family, the next day is good. So, yay! So kids are awesome. Families are awesome. Have a family. It's good. Not saying single isn't good. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like to be single, I guess. Because as a single, you always have to find something to do. You know, yeah, you don't have responsibility, but at the same time, you also go, every day I had to find my own excitement. Having a family every day is excitement. Having a family every day is excitement. There's always something going on. It's not always gotta be the good thing, but Julian and Matteo says hello. Hi, Julian and Matteo. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Matteo. Because I repeat that name a few more times. I said Julian a few more times. Julian. Hey, Julian. So yeah, having a family is a beautiful thing. Like I say, I'm pretty sure when you get older, you wouldn't want to be alone, right? You obviously you don't want to be bothered all the time when you get older, but you also, when they visit you, well, when you get together at a specific time, it feels lively, feels great. It's like you can throw your own party. There are also a stage in life. At 22, get out there, explore adventure, figure out what you love and how do that as how to do that as a career. Now, I always tell people about career, internal career, is to do something that you don't like but you're good at. And because if you do something that you love, you're stuck because now what you love become your job. Right? Do what you are good at to make a lot of money so that you can do what you love freely. Do what you love freely. Right? Martin Maya likes to smoke cigars, but he doesn't work a job that smokes cigars, right? So he's working a job that will afford him to smoke cigars. That way, cigars will continue to become something enjoyable. If you do a job of something that you love, that job is your getaway heaven, but at the same time, it's also your stress. And I don't think that's recommended. When you want to enjoy something, you want to enjoy 100%, 200% if you can. And by doing it as a job, then you might not enjoy it as much. So do what you're good at for career and use that career to afford what you love. That's what I can recommend as the best thing to do. And all those people that says, I want to live close to my work, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Don't live too close to your work. Yes, your travel to work will be easier and all that stuff, but when you try to enjoy your life, that job that's close to you might hinder that problem. Because you're the closest one, something goes wrong in the company, they're calling you to go in because you're the closest one. Live far away. You'll find, that's the case for majority of people. You'll never see a CEO or a millionaire, whatever, to live in a city, in a place that's very close to their work, because you want to break away from your work. Once you leave your job, you should forget about work. Period. Right? You want to break away from your job. You work to live. You don't live to work. So having a job far away from you allows you to forget about work. And that's the best part. Don't take work home. Don't work at home. When you're at home, it should be about you and your family. And that should be the best scenario anybody can ask for. And a lot of time, living far away from work actually is cheaper, because your work are usually in the city. So sometimes I act like I'm sleeping though. Well, but living far away, you won't have to have that excuse ever, right? Somebody calls you up, you're like, yeah, I'm like 2 hours away, no way, right? They'll call whoever that's closest. Too far, sorry. Oh, you need people right now? Well, by the time I get there, you're closed. So, no, I'm not going. So now, we're relatively the same length. I'm gonna light this up again and try to compare the two flavors. Ready? Ooh, this still got a lot of flavor. Right away, I can taste this flavor. It overshadows this one right away. Extra cash doesn't hurt. At the same time, you know, when you live far away from work, that's extra cash too. You know, you're saving from not having to live close to work too. You gotta own a car anyway. Might as well drive it. Alrighty. Filthy Viking. Cain Daytona. Alright. Okay. Clean it up. Okay. Clean up again. All right, Stacy. Nice talking to you. Bye, kids. Okay. Excuse me for being quiet a little bit. I'm trying to, you know, give a fair shot at this last little knob for both of them. Sweet, okay. 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 Now let them both take a little rest to get to a same point, I guess. But at this point, Filthy Viking wins. Filthy Viking has more of a smooth, pungent taste that stays. The Cain Daytona gives me this little bit of bitterness at the end, but not as pungent, a lot lighter in terms of flavoring. Just get it to burn through just a little bit more. Again, the flavor is still there. It's much stronger than the Cain. And ash, okay. Yep. I think the Filthy Viking wins by a little bit. You see, both of them is the smoke is start coming up. I'll wait for this to come down just a little bit longer. But in terms of flavoring, I think the Filthy Viking has more flavor. Alright, see, now both of them don't have much smoke going on now. They're like dying now, so here it goes. Okay. Cedar, anise, a little bit creaminess, and then bitter. Much more flavor. This thing, the flavor overshadows that one immediately. As soon as I smoke it, the flavor covers up, fills my entire mouth with the flavor that's in the Filthy Viking. Okay? Yep. Light. You can see the smoke output different too. Filthy Viking will cover it up. When I smoke the Filthy Viking's flavor just covered this up entirely. So I say Filthy Viking wins. What do you guys think? Filthy Viking wins on this one. Cain Daytona is much more like a beginner cigar. It's not a lot there to strive for. The flavor doesn't fill your mouth long enough. Filthy Viking does. It fills up your entire mouth with flavor and it lingers. I think the linger part is the best part because now you can continue to enjoy that. While I'm talking, I can still taste it. So Filthy Viking works. Oh yeah, why you guys can suggest me what cigars that you wanna see the battle of. I will try my best to do that. So, hey Mikey, haven't seen you for a while too. Mikey's in Facebook. So yeah, Filthy Viking definitely beats it. Let me light this just a little bit more to see if I can get more flavor out of this. But I don't think it's gonna matter that much. Because I do taste it, but it's light throughout. No, okay. Light. Very light. Covers it up right away. Covers it up. I think it's very definitive that every time I smoke the Filthy Viking, it covers up the taste of this one. And when I smoke this after Filthy Viking without washing my mouth with the soda, I cannot even taste it. I cannot even taste it. So Filthy Viking definitely wins. In terms of first third, even for the first third, Filthy Viking has a stronger flavor. Well, now it's on Facebook as well. If you want to check out Facebook, you can check it out anytime. Yeah, Filthy Viking definitely beats Cain Daytona. I think Cain Daytona is even more so of a beginner cigar than Filthy Viking. Filthy Viking does have a little bit of strength, but the flavor really covers your entire mouth. It really it covers it up right away. The pungentness of the flavor, it goes all the way through, and it lingers. Cain Daytona did not do that. Cain Daytona did not do that for me. Did not linger. Did not stay. It goes away right after the bitterness. I think the bitterness actually cleans up that taste and it goes away. So this battle, Filthy Viking wins. Filthy Viking definitely is worth whatever price tag, $8 price tag that it was. Even the smoke output, I think Filthy Viking wins. Yeah, you see this? Filthy Viking has much more smoke output compared to the Cain. I say Filthy Viking wins. It's very definitively win. And not too shocking too. I mean, it's a good cigar. It's a good cigar. If the first third of a cigar is bad, I won't hold out on the hope that it will improve. If the first third is good, it starts to drop in quality. I can still say it's a decent half stick. I usually give it until the first third crossing to the second third, like halfway point, to really judge a cigar. Because sometimes cigar changes a lot, and the first third maybe not wrap as well, or because the foot is open. Sometimes it's not as pungent as the rest of the cigars. So, I don't like it when the cigar drop in flavor as it goes. I actually like it when it raises up as it goes. It should too, because it gets shorter and it's closer, less to be filtered through the tobacco itself. So for this particular reason, I would recommend to always to give a cigar at least halfway point, at least a halfway point. But if the first stir is really that bad, then I don't think you will continue. I'm much hopeful that it will change by the final third. Now, see, the final third, I feel like the final thirds are usually the same as the first third, but stronger. So, yeah, halfway point is when I start to go, this cigar is good or this cigar sucks. And the only really way is to compare them, or I guess back to back, because when you don't have something to compare to, and then you have to search your brain and say, is this good enough? Is this as good as that? And some cigar will give you more impression than another. They just punch you in the face in the beginning. Something like Tabernacle. First draw, it's like slap in the face. Right? Tabernacle, the first draw will slap you in the face. Something like Amazon Basin, same thing. Psh, on the face, right there. And you will get the flavor right away. So, and the strength does add extra a little bit, but it could drive you away from the rest of the cigar too. So later, everyone, have a good night. Have a good night, Daniel. Hey Tony, how do you store a cigar that comes out of the tube in your wooden humidor with the cap on or off? If you're storing your cigar in a humidor, in a tube, it depends what kind of tube. If it's a sealed tube, what I mean by sealed tube is like wax sealed, so no air can go in or out, then you can store directly in the tube. All right, and you literally don't even put it in a humidor, because the humidor, the wooden humidor also affects the cigar to age. You can't age your cigar in a plastic thing unless you have cedar wood linings in there or a tray in there. The wood actually helps the flavor to develop. Now, when you put it in the tube, it doesn't do that. It's like frozen in time. Okay, frozen in time. Now, when you get a tube that's sealed, it's literally frozen in time. No air can go in, no air can go out. So putting your humidor doesn't really do anything for it. So you can just store it as that. Now, if you get those twist top, like the metal ones, the tubos, that you want to get the cap off before you store it. Always. Why? A few reasons. Number one, you can right away see whether or not your cigar has molded, because the foot is always facing out. All right, the foot always faces out. So you can see whether or not your foot has mold on it. If your foot has mold on it, that cigar cannot be rescued. Just the way it is, okay? And that's number one. Number two, it allows air to go in and out. Now, when you have a metal tube, because metal is hydrophobic, it does not like water. It doesn't absorb water or regular water. So all you're doing is praying that the single slight piece of spill that's in there, not all the time, they don't always have a single slide of cedar spills in there. You're hoping that will regulate the moisture that's in there. It doesn't. So when you have a twist top that is in the tubo, you want to get the twist top off so the air can go in and out, and you will actually allow some moisture to come out. If you don't, number one, you don't even know if it molded, and tubos tend to mold more than the others. Tubos is really bad regulating temperature and moisture, so you want to get the cap off. But if it's sealed acrylic tube, because it's hydrophobic and it doesn't allow any air in and out, you can store it just as is. Chance of a sealed tube to go moldy is very, very low. Very, very low, because there's not a lot of air in there. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but because it's nicely sealed, nothing you do outside is going to matter inside. The only thing that's going to change the condition is temperature. If it's too warm, then yeah, all the water is going to settle down, then you can start to get moldy. You might still get beetle, but it's sealed. So the only thing that's going to get damaged in the tube is that particular cigar. and it's clear, so you can see the inside. You know, something's wrong, open it up and hurry up, smoke it. But on the metal tube, you can't do that. You can't see the inside. You cannot see what's going on. You literally, for me, the metal tube that has cap that's halfway. You know, seeing those like perfectos, that's half and half, to as a twist top or metal container. You can't just take out the half. And sometimes I'll put the entire thing in there, and sometimes I'll take it off and check it. But if you have a twist top that comes right off, I'll remove the top every single time. And then what's the funny part is a lot of Cubans are like that, and I tend to put the wrong top on the wrong Cuban. But I'll take it apart and put it in a drawer. When I need to seal it, I just get one that fits and just twist it on. So a lot of time I have the wrong cap. But the cap doesn't decide what cigar it is. So the most important part is the cigar. Keep the cap off if you can. If it's sealed, it doesn't matter. Just regular the temperature is fine. Make sure the temperature is good, and you don't have to worry about it. The point of the tubos like that sealed is to keep the air inside and keep anything from going out or in. I hope that answers your question. A little bit more complicated than I wanted to make it be, but yeah, if it's metal, take the cap off. If it's plastic, if you can remove the cap, take the cap off. If you can't remove the cap, don't worry about it. That answers the question, right? All right. So yeah, 4 minutes left. Let's sum this up. We have Filthy Viking today, and we have a Cain Daytona today. And in the battle between two cigars, Filthy Viking wins by that much. All right. The Filthy Viking tend to have the smoke output. It's got good flavor that stays in your mouth for a much longer time than the Cain. The Cain is a little bit lighter. It did get even lighter and come back up in places, but in terms of flavoring, Filthy Viking will just cover the entire mouth with flavor. And even when I smoke back to back, Filthy Viking flavor did not die down. You know, when I just try one after another, Filthy Viking will just cover up the entire flavor of Cain. So Cain is a little bit too light in terms of enjoyment and stuff like that. But as a beginner, Cain is pretty good. You can smoke the Cain and then work your way up to Filthy Viking. But I think Filthy Viking shouldn't be too strong for a beginner either, especially at a Robusto size. I mean, Robusto size, by the time you feel the nicotine, you're probably almost done. As a beginner, of course, as a beginner. If you've been smoking for a while, Filthy Viking is not something that cannot be approached, and it's not so light where you go like, I can't enjoy the cigar because it's such a light cigar. There's not a lot of nicotine. There's not, that doesn't happen to it. Both of them are light to medium in terms of nicotine. I think this is closer to light. This is closer to medium. But it's within that gap where you can enjoy both. So if you can try the Filthy Viking, I say get the Filthy Viking. I think the Cain is slightly cheaper, but Filthy Viking is worth your hour more, because you gotta enjoy that flavor more. Every puff, even after the cigar smoke has go out your mouth, it will stay for another 15 seconds or so. You know, your saliva will keep that flavor going. So Filthy Viking wins. Definitely Filthy Viking wins. And this, if you want, you can do this test as well, and let me know how you feel. Let me know how you think. What is my favorite Cuban multi-crystal size? I don't usually smoke multi-crystal, but if I had to pick, it's probably a number 1 or number 2. Number 1, number 2. Probably number 2 will be much better than the number 1. But I don't smoke multi-crystal all that much. So when I do number 1. Because multi-crystal burns relatively fast in terms of Cuban. So I like a longer version of it. And I think the number 1 has a little bit more flavor, but number 2 is more balanced. And as the number goes up, it gets stronger. So it depends what you like. Okay, so that is the Battle Wednesday that we have today. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll do this more. Suggest and leave a comment below what you want to see for the Wednesday battles, and then I'll try to find those cigars to put in comparison. And the next one, Saturday, we'll be smoking the Fratello Inverso. So if you have that cigar, come smoke with me with that same cigar. We'll review them together, and hopefully you guys enjoy the Battle Wednesday, because that's what I decided to do for Wednesday from now on, and we'll go with that. All right, have a good night. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the rest of the week. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. I don't know. All right, so that ends here, and if I can find the end button, and I'll end the video. Also, suggest what you guys want to see for our monthly reviews on every Saturdays. That way, so for the Saturdays, recommend brands. For the Wednesday, recommend 2 specific cigars that are very close to each other, and they need to be Robusto in size. That way, we can have enough time to kind of compare them. If not, I had to smoke half of the other one. You know, if one is like Toro, the other one is a Corona, they don't compare that well. All right, have a good night, everybody. Be saucy. I'll see you guys next time.